And welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where we get the sights, sounds, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Try to get this right. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and tap that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one single exciting video and how exciting they are. Don't forget your clear eyes, a writer's best friend. No, they're not paying me to influence them, so. Although they should. Um, don't forget to go to the store, www.vinzandri.com, vinzandri.com, vinzandri.com, for all your thriller needs. And I'm sure there's lots of them, especially in these financially challenging times. You can pick up an ebook for $3.99 or $4.99 or $5.99 and be entertained for days, hours anyway. So I was on the wonderful Fran Lewis's podcast, blog talk radio thing this morning, myself and two other best-selling authors. I'm on her show often. I like her show. She's down in New York. She too is a writer. But anyway, she always stumps me with some of these questions, and I should expect them. But the purpose of the show is to talk about outrageous characters, and I have several outrageous characters. That's why I was on the show. And so did the other guys. But in particular, Dick Moonlight, who's like taking over my life these days. But while his popularity spreads, she naturally asked me, like, how do you come up with these outrageous characters? How do you do it? And I'm like, you ask me this every time I'm on your show, how I come up with my characters, and I always give you the same answer. I mean, I didn't say it like this. And listen to the show. You can. It's I provided a link down there. I don't know how I come up with them. It just comes out that way. The muse talks to me here, and it goes in my brain, and it comes out on the keyboard. Comes out on the paper. I don't have a formula, and I had never even set out to write outrageous characters or crazy characters or kind of loony characters or whatever. It's just I write whatever makes me happy, and if I'm writing something that doesn't make me happy, you're gonna know it, because it'll be like, like for instance, there's people out there that make a living writing textbooks. I'd rather have a real job than do that. But they're writers, aren't they? Yeah. I don't know. I just like edgy characters. Guys and girls that are living on the edge, sort of. The type that like get money, lose it, get the girl, lose it, lose her. The type that like might get beat up. They don't have to be superheroes. Like they're real. Or the type that gets shot at, and the type who aren't afraid to shoot at another character. So long as their motives are right. I guess that's one thing. One thing I was able to tell her, like, maybe my characters can be outrageous, but they always have right in mind, and they're always trying to do the right thing, even if they have to do bad things to get there. Get what I mean? So maybe Moonlight kills somebody. Killing is bad, right? It says so in the Ten Commandments. But if he's doing it for a good cause, then it's justified. And one of the other authors brought up, I guess in the first Lee Child book, his character shoots a guy in the back 2 times or something like that. My characters will never do that. And I brought up the point, like, once you've been sucker punched, you realize how cowardly something like that is. There's just, doesn't take anybody could shoot somebody in the back and then run away. So I don't know why people would like that or go back for more of that, but they do apparently. My character will never do that, or like the Moonlight would never do that. Marconi would never do that. Chase Baker would never do that. None of them would. They'd at least say, turn around, so you can see me shoot you. But it's difficult writing about or talking about the writing process. It's not easy because I have to like really think about it, how it happens, and it just sort of happens. It's like you're using your imagination and you're tapping into something that's not meant to be explained. Kind of like what Tom Petty said about songwriting. He's like, I don't know where it comes from. He's like, I'm just a conduit. My body's just a conduit, and I hear this stuff, it comes in my head, and I just whatever. That's a Tom Petty song. Rest in peace, Tom. But I don't know. You can explain it all you want, but I suppose talent has something to do with it, and I suppose reading a lot has something to do with it. Watching stuff has something to do with it. Just being who you are, as a human being. Like, I'm kind of outrageous, I guess. Parts of me. I'm certainly different. There's no doubt about that. I'm not your typical guy. I'm not like the 9 to 5, come home, how was your day, honey? Kiss on the cheek. Boy, dinner sure smells good. Not that anybody has that anymore, but you get what I'm saying. My life's not like an accountant. All right, I got to stop picking on accountants. Anyway, so that's it. We talked about outrageous characters. Somehow we got like an hour show out of it, and it was very interesting. I highly suggest you check it out. And also, there's an interview of me on pulp, pipes, and poetry, which I will provide a link for that tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it. And that's Frank Theodet's Substack page. We'll talk a little about that tomorrow in some of the areas I covered. There's a direct link between what I do now and me being like a 4 or 5-year-old kid growing up basically alone in this area that was just mostly farm fields. There's like this direct link. And I'll explain more about that tomorrow. All right, hope you're all having a good Monday, and I will catch you guys tomorrow afternoon, God willing. Ciao, ciao.